I've been in real estate since 2015. I've been with Century 21 since I started, and I've been with Century 21 Link since 2017. So I've been there for quite a while. The real estate market here.
Real quick before you do that, tell more in depth about the brand itself. Like, talk about how you came up with Fit for Real Estate, because it's pretty clever.
Okay. I've always enjoyed fitness. I've always been a bodybuilding and fitness enthusiast my whole life. I grew up around it. My dad was, very physically fit. So I don't remember. I think I was talking to Kevin and I said something about just something about fit for life. And I thought, fit for real estate would be kind of cool, because it's kind of, I'm fit for the job, but I'm also physically fit type of thing. And then it's kind of a play on words, and I just started putting it out there and took off and been that way ever since. So that's kind of how I branded myself. I've given like vitamin C and stuff like that as closing gifts to people, and so everybody kind of knows.
Time fitness too.
So when did you actually get into real estate?
2015.
2015.
I got licensed, and I was with a big Century 21. They were still privately owned, but they were a bigger company than where I'm at now. And I loved it there because I got, I would say, the best contract training ever. Mm-hmm. And let me tell you, if you're in this business, and Kevin can tell you, there's a lot of agents out there that they are very good, but they really do not know the contract and the process of a lot of things. And like some of the things that I'll see on contracts, and I'm like, who taught you this?
If I could jump in on that really quick, the one thing I see as a mortgage broker, so my business is mortgage brokerage, and her being in real estate as a realtor, what I do is they're my referral partners, right? Mm-hmm. So I see all different types of agents. Yeah. I see all different types of experience, and I see different things that they do and don't do. And I always know, and I'll plug Jeff Labuddy here. Mm-hmm. Jeff Labuddy's the general manager that trained her. He's the contract expert. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, he's an expert witness on real estate contracts. Mm-hmm. So he's a very good trainer. Yeah. And I can always tell when I get a Jeff Labuddy trained agent versus when I don't. It really does matter. It makes a huge difference in the transaction.
I still have Jeff. He was at our old Century 21, and I always joke with him because the one night he didn't do career night and someone else did, that's the night that I went. And I was like, you got stuck with me. But I owe a lot to Jeff because he's incredibly intelligent. Line item by line item, he knows that contract better than anybody. He's actually had to represent certain things in court. Attorneys will pay him to be the contract expert when something goes to, whether it's mediation, arbitration, litigation, anything like that. Mm-hmm. He's actually been paid by attorneys. He's very, very smart, knows his stuff, and he's also an investor. He owns a lot of real estate. So learning from him and just getting that mentorship, I think, is extremely important, because there are some people I'm like, I really can sit down and help you. How
many contracts are there in the state of Florida?
Well, there's 3, but some areas like Duval, which is Jacksonville, Miami-Dade, Miami area, mm-hmm. and then Tallahassee, they have their own that's written by the Florida Bar, but kind of generally everywhere else, there's 3. I will say probably 90% of my fellow peers think there's 1, and it's the worst one. It's written for lawyers by lawyers. It was made in 2008 for all the short sales that came out, and they call it the FAR Bar as is. So a lot of people think, Florida's an as is state, and I'm like, oh my God, it's not. I promise it's not. And I've won listing. I've won listings against some of my fellow peers because that's the first thing I go to is, this is what they advertise for you. Let me tell you why this is not good for you as a seller. And then if, listen, I'm going to get offers on this particular contract. I can show you how to combat it. So that way buyer just can't walk away from you. Let's keep this thing together. But another thing I pride myself on, even when I am working with an agent that just really is not, we'll say, educated in the area, I still at least try to help, because I say, look, we're all here to make a paycheck. We're all here to do right by our people. I'm willing to help you, but as soon as you become pompous and arrogant, I promise you I will cost you money at the closing table. I have done that before. I don't like to do that. That's just an ugly way of doing things, but But yeah, I think that's where my strength is.
Give an example of that. Like tell us, like, so people can understand, like, what is a way that like other agents would cause themselves to miss out on some money.
Well, this was probably my first year, and I was at my old Century 21, and Jeff was there, which Jeff is now at Century 21 Link, so that works well too. But she was with another company, I don't remember, and she submitted an offer. And so I always say, seller request offers on, at the time it was the CRISP 13, it's now the CRISP 16, which I know that's, jargon that nobody cares about, it's boring. But she sent me something on a different contract. She sent me the offer on a different contract, but the addendums that I uploaded in MLS for somebody to submit were related to the other contract. So now you're getting into, well, this is referencing paragraph 3, which is a financing paragraph, but over here it's referencing a different paragraph. And I said, hey, can you please resubmit this on the correct form? And she goes, no, you need to present that. And I said, okay, I'll present it. And she goes, the sellers need to do that. And I said, oh, sweetie baby honey cookie, I promise you this, I will cost you money. So I said, okay. And Jeff goes, you know what? Just have them executed. It's going to cost her money. And she was kind of one of those bimbos. She goes, oh, I'm at an acting thing in Orlando. And I said, well, you're supposed to be at an inspection for your buyer. Well, can you go and open the door? Nope. Sorry, I'm not doing that. And so she had something, again, these are referencing two different things. And the way she messed up, she just was incredibly difficult to work with. She was almost very arrogant. So I crossed one thing out. I had the seller's initial. She had the buyer's initial. And I said, okay, well, you have a deadline that's due in 20 days. It's day 19. If this isn't happening, you're going to cost yourself about $1,500 because I guarantee you your buyers aren't going to have it. That's what happened.
Okay.
So I was like...
And from my perspective as a mortgage broker, what's really important in the contract is the deadlines, the timing of everything that happens. Mm-hmm. And a lot of real estate agents aren't very, I shouldn't say a lot of real estate agents. There's some that are really good at, some that aren't very good at keeping you on schedule, keeping you on deadlines. And even as the lender myself, what I experience is agents will keep me moving too, in a sense, where they're sending me the right information, sending me the right details versus me having to ask for it. And that's something I've experienced with you is, we've obviously done deals together, is I get everything I need from her without asking, and the good agents do it like that. Yeah. And a lot of them, they understand the contracts, they understand the different paragraphs and the things that are in there.
When I email a lender and I'm on the buying side, I put in the listing agent's name, phone number, email. I put in the title company's name, phone number, email. I put in this information, the HOA addendum is attached or something's attached, and I separate all the documents. That way it's just easy. And I can't tell you how many times a lender has said, thank you so much for this information, because most of the time we have to go fishing for it. And I'm like, no problem. I don't know why other people don't do that. It's pretty easy.